Well, hey, it's good to see you again. My name is Jaden Ben, and welcome back to another Wax Showcase video where the past is a wilderness of horrors. It's November, we have made it through spooky season, and we are now on our way to hopefully some colder weather here in the state of Texas. Hope you guys enjoyed my cover of To the Furnace by Spider God. That was a great challenge by G himself, and I had a fun time doing that. But now it's time to get right back to some albums I've been listening to these last couple of months. We are going to start, of course, by what is playing in the background right over there today, and that is going to be Sanity Slip with FWYH, which stands for Fuck What You Heard. These guys are out of San Antonio, Texas. This is a compilation released in 2024 on Vile Tapes Records out of Russia. This particular version I have is the white tape copy, which was 20. I also have a CD copy as well as a bunch of their other stuff, but these guys are an incredible group that I got to see at the Spider House Ballroom in late September at a fundraiser for the Palestinian children with a bunch of other really great hardcore bands. I actually ended up going to high school with one of the guitar players, so I had no idea, but small world, I suppose. Anyways, that is Sanity Slip, FWYH. Go and check these guys out. They kick as much ass live as they do in the studio as well. So we are going to start with an old classic for today, and that is from 1991. That is Atheist, Unquestionable Presence. Absolutely killer album. Easily my favorite by these guys. I love Piece of Time just as much, but I think this one ekes it out just a touch for me. This came out, of course, in 1991 on Nuclear Blast Records, and this was repressed in 2023 by Nuclear Blast Records. So many great tracks on here, like Mother Man, An Incarnation's Dream, The Formative Years, Enthralled in Essence. Just absolutely incredible work. I love the repress treatment that Nuclear Blast gave this, because I was kind of seeking out a copy of this record, especially after seeing them the last time, which was in the opening for Cynic. We caught them on the very beginning of that tour, where they brought out a bunch of deep cuts and basically almost played this album in its entirety from start to finish. But basically super techy death metal. The band didn't quite get into their jazz influence as much on this record as they would on albums like Elements, but I love Elements just as much. I think this one is the band, they're kind of like cross point between just standard death metal and what eventually they would become later on. The variant for this one is absolutely gorgeous. Nuclear Blast did a killer job with this. This blue, green, and white splatter. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this pressing to death. The pressing quality is absolutely killer. Honestly, I know there were some pressings from, I believe it was Back on Black and Season of Mist that weren't as fondly received as this pressing, but either way, happy to have my hands on a copy of an absolute classic. So next up, we're going to go towards a little bit of black metal. I had to cut because this one's actually super heavy and I haven't been able to hold it up properly. This is Departure Chandelier with Antichrist Rise to Power, out in 2019 on Nuclear War Now Records. This is the Helios Die Hard edition, in case you can't tell by the plate there. It is a dedicated, and it is limited of 50 copies. Comes with a 3mm steel plate as the front, which has been engraved. It is so cool. This thing weighs about 6 pounds, so I'm gonna keep this down here for the rest of this little bit here. This is a 3-man project out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and New York City, New York. These guys are absolutely incredible musicians. I discovered them earlier this year with their latest album, Satan, Soldier of Fortune. And I had to go back once I saw that this was getting done. This particular variant is going to be benefiting the Helios Press out in Brady, Texas. It's on this incredible orange and black marbled edition. These are, of course, again, there's going to be more of these on Nuclear War Now's website, but it comes with this awesome sort of back, like, plastic bit that showcases the Helios logo. There is also the thanks list in here which has my name on it. So if you want your name on a Nuclear War Now release, go and support Helios Press. I'm going to leave a link to their fundraising page in the description. They just started their sale not too long ago, and they put up 5 more records of these. Not this record in particular, but there's other ones, including a bunch of old classic releases. This one is absolutely insane. This is a modern classic for me, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Maybe I will find some way of getting this signed if we go see them in January, and I'll be the first to know about that. Alright, so we're going to move on to another sort of modern release. We're going to go very modern in this episode. And this is the 2023 album from Torture with For Enduring Freedom. This is a one-man slam death metal project, I believe out of Chicago, Illinois. And this was based on Days of Future Past Records in 2024. Absolutely love this release to death. Overture 2001, Agonized Desperation, Legacy of Devastation, and of course the whole finale 3-parter series on this is absolutely insane. These guys have been white hot as of the last year. Sadly, 3 of their members just left, so I don't think I'm going to get the chance to see these guys anytime in the near immediate future, but fingers crossed we will at some point. I absolutely love this record to death. And of course, you see the cover, and most of you will probably think of the Gulf War, but this seems to be in staunch opposition to it, because it mentions sort of the, that this wasn't what, America wanted, or at least what a lot of American citizens wanted. And I kind of like that almost take on, the music and everything. It's a very interesting lyrical topic to cover. Here's the inner liner for it. I'll read on the back here. It says, on the 22nd anniversary of the event that struck the world and started a decades-long struggle where material objects outweigh human rights, as they usually do. But we also remember all the innocent souls whose opportunities and existence remain squandered by a blind, undying lust for greed and wealth. I think that about sums up how the band feels about the subject matter. But the pressing itself was done by Days of Future Past Records. This was limited to 300 copies. The A and B side is this red, white, and blue tri-stripe, and the C and D side comes on this red, white, and blue splatter on clear. This was limited to 200 copies, and this sold out in a matter of about an hour to an hour and a half. So very happy to have gotten this one when I was able to, because I have a feeling that this is going to start fetching some pretty good money here in the near future. Alright, we are going to move on to easily one of my favorite records of 2023. And that is going to be a band I saw very recently in the form of Tribal Gaze, the 9 Choirs, out on Maggot Stomp Records. This release is absolutely diabolical, and as you can see in all of its glory, mine is signed, of course. But that's not where this particular variant, or this particular record is going to end on this episode, because I just got the test press in for Maggot Stomp Records themselves. I missed getting this one in time to hopefully get them to sign both, but I have a feeling we'll be seeing them live again in the near future. Absolutely diabolical riff work on here. Cold Devotion, With This Creature I Return, Shapeless Sovereign, Jungle Rituals, and Worthless Offering being some incredible cuts on here. And these guys are absolutely insane live, and easily some of the nicest human beings I've ever had the chance of meeting. This was released in September of 2022, and the pressing was done in 2023. I'm only missing one signature, and that is their bass player, who was not on this particular tour with Undeath. But hopefully we'll have the chance of seeing them in the future. The variant, the test press obviously is a black copy, but I'm not going to take it out of its packaging because I just got it in not too long ago and I don't want to dirty it. But I don't know what the limitation is on that. If I do find out in the near future, I will put it on the screen here, but I don't believe there's a limitation. And the variant I have is the blue and white splatter from Maggot Stomp Records. Of course, this one is now long sold out. We are now, they've repressed it recently on a clear with gold splatter. But if you like absolutely modern death metal with just sheer slamming hardcore music, this is going to be right up your alley. And for the final release of today's episode, we're going to talk about something modern, but also kind of goes back into that sort of old school vibes. I'm talking about Living Gate with Suffer as One, out in 2024 on Relapse Records. Absolutely diabolical. I say the word diabolical a lot, but this, I feel like it's the best way to describe this group. This is a super group containing members of, I believe, Amun-Ra and Yob, amongst many others. I've got a couple extra on the screen here if I'm missing something in particular, but this is the band's second full-length album, or they did an EP and this is their first full-length album. Again, on the screen there. But the tracks on here, such as To Cut Off the Head of the Snake, A Unified Soul, Suffer as One, Atoms and Particles, and CQC, are easily some of the best old school tie-back nostalgia songs I've heard all year. This group sort of reminds me of Incantation and Morbid Angel, but also just with that slight modern, almost sort of doomy twist to them. This particular release was limited to 137 copies, and it is on this absolutely gorgeous custom marbled. I got a really good shot. There you go. That's a good shot. Which is purple with pink and blue marbled. I love the fact that Relapse has been doing that kind of custom marbled trend these last couple of months with a lot of these reissues, because it is absolutely stunning. I will tell you, this release is probably going to sit very, very highly on my album of the year list, and if you haven't made the time to sit down and give this a listen, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. These guys are old school at their core. Every project I know that they are a part of is definitely something worth checking out as well. So I'll leave the link to this album in the description and you can go check it out for yourself. But that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. As always, stay safe, stay metal. I'll see you next time.